Reading for Wildlife. Written and illustrated by Zella, a project by Zella and Friends. An elephant for breakfast.
Chapter 13, The Writing in the Dust. In the meantime, P.C. Everest's companion had woken up, stretched, looked out of the window, and then gone downstairs to get a glass of water. As he walked down, he was singing loudly, but Rose had heard his heavy footsteps and his singing, had taken fright, and had fled. Imagine his surprise when he heard a door slam, glanced out of the window, and saw Rose running from the house. He quickly dashed upstairs to alert P.C. Everest. Rose ran down the side path, through the brambles, not even caring as they scratched her legs. She had never run so fast in her whole life. She did not stop running until she arrived at the door of her own home. She leaned on the doorbell. Her parents did not answer the door. She rang again, still no answer. She knocked. Were they asleep upstairs? For Rose it felt like an eternity. She looked down the garden path but could not see very much of the road beyond the tall box hedge. She kept ringing the bell. She thought she could hear the sound of running, feet running, getting nearer and nearer. At the same time, Father dreamed of hammering, again and again. Mother dreamed of a fire. An alarm was sounding in her dream. Then there was actual ringing. They sat bolt upright. Then they leapt out of the bed, grabbed their dressing gowns, and flew downstairs. Who could it be, and at this early hour? As soon as her father opened the front door, Rose collapsed into his arms. At that same moment, Lucky came rushing around the corner alone. Lucky looked at Rose's face, and then at her bleeding legs, and then back again, panting with a concerned look in her eyes. It was the same look that Rose's parents had on their faces. Rose's parents were shocked to see her. Blood was running down her legs. "Oh, Rose," cried Mother. "Ma chérie, what has happened to you? Are you okay?" Then Mother realised with horror there was no sign of Freddie or Tom. "Help! Others! 52!" was all Rose could splutter between sobs. It was enough. Her father understood immediately. Without waiting for an explanation, he ran, his dressing gown flapping behind him. Meanwhile, at 52 Paradise Road, the fake policeman had forced the children down the stairs and out of the house, and carried the unconscious body of Uncle Cosmo with them. They marched the children to the shed and dragged Uncle Cosmo through the long grass, crisscrossed with sharp brambles that had woven themselves into the overgrown lawn. In the tumble-down garden shed, they tied up their hostages. The children were scared to see two other men, both in white underwear and both unconscious like Uncle Cosmo. Johnny thought that these two men looked as if they would have fitted the police uniforms a lot better than the two men currently wearing them. Once they had tied the children and Uncle Cosmo securely, the policeman returned to the house. Meanwhile, Mother took Rose inside and made her a cup of cocoa. Rose clasped the cup. She felt calm, but tears still streamed down her face. Her mother wrapped her arms around her and gave her a long hug. After that, Rose told her mother a disjointed story. It was quite short. Mother gasped when she heard about the untouched basket and dinner, and of how Rose had run to escape when she had heard the heavy steps and singing of a stranger. At the abandoned house, Uncle Cosmo's pursuers watched Father through the upper floor window as he approached. They quickly fastened the last buttons on their uniforms and slipped into their roles as bobbies on the beat. It was important to them that the children's parents did not search 52 Paradise Road or interrupt their search for the chocolate. P.C. Everest and P.C. Strong left the house. They looked like genuine policemen, and it would have taken a keen eye to notice the small, revealing details. They tried to walk Father back down the front path, but he refused to leave. "Hello, sir. Is this your home?" asked P.C. Everest. "No," said Father. "No, it's not mine." "Then what are you doing here at this hour?" asked P.C. Strong. "Looking for my children and my brother. Do you mind if I step past?" "No need, sir. The house is empty. Neighbours reported a disturbance. We've just looked and there's no one there," announced P.C. Everest. "Still, I would like to see for myself," said Father. "Of course," said P.C. Everest, confidently letting him pass. He knew he would find nothing in the house. Mind if we join you? Asked P.C. Everest. No, please do, replied Father. If they're with your brother, then why are you worried? Asked P.C. Strong in a slightly sarcastic tone. No, they are not with my brother. My daughter came here this morning to visit him, and was with her brothers, I believe. Rose arrived home scared, bleeding, and without her siblings, so I came immediately to find them. The policeman progressed through the house with Father. They found no evidence of any children. They walked back down the garden path, leading Father out of the house and away from the garden. As they stood on the footpath outside the house, P.C. Everest asked a trick question. Have you checked for them at home, sir? No, I have not, responded Father. Then we suggest you start there, sir, said P.C. Strong, in the kindest and most hopeful tone he could muster. Father's mouth dropped. He was momentarily lost for words. But what makes you think that they might be there? Well, said P.C. Everest, had you considered that the others may not have joined your daughter at this hour? It is very early. They might just be asleep. No, said Father. I guess I had assumed that they'd all come together. We suggest you check there first, said P.C. Strong, but let me assure you we will take this very seriously. Yes, leave it with us, asked P.C. Everest, cunningly buying a little more time. We will file a missing persons report immediately and be in touch shortly. Where do you live? 17 Paradise Road, just down there, said Father vaguely, pointing down the road. P.C. Everest pulled a real police notebook out of his uniform pocket and wrote down the address. And the names of the missing children? Asked P.C. Everest, carefully noting down the answer. Father spelled out their names and felt relieved that the police were taking it seriously. And finally, your mobile number to get in touch as soon as possible, asked P.C. Everest, carefully noting it down. The police turned and walked to the end of the street to the crossroads. They were so convincing that at no point did Father suspect they were fake. He heard one of them grumbling at the other in a stage whisper as they turned right in the direction of the little lane. Looked as if he'd lost his marbles. Did you see the slippers and that ancient dressing gown? Yes, I imagine one does feel crazy if one loses one's children. We must do all we can to help him. Father felt reassured by the last comment, but the dust told another tale. If Father had paused a moment longer, he might have seen the answer on the window pane in the 4th bedroom, written in the dust.
With enormous thanks to Nicky Cox. Here is how you can help. Share the story. Adopt an animal from afar. Visit when you can. Educate yourself. Donate to a conservation charity. To find out more about Reading for Wildlife, visit zellahunter.com or at Lady Zella Books, or follow the Reading for Wildlife YouTube channel.